where we share all secrets so that you can improve your game. We got a great episode today. We're going to go back to 2023, setting how we can make 2023 a better year. So look, but man, I hope you guys had a great holidays. I just drove back from St. Louis. Been a great time with the family. I hope you guys had a great holiday as well. And we bring it into New Year's. But give it up for my man, Walt Piper, the Piper. What's up, baby? No microphone today from him. Good Lord, help him. What's up, Wayne? What's going on, brother?
Well, 2022 has been exciting.
Yeah.
For us and our mastermind members. And
it has been, man. Yep. We've had a lot of success with some of our students here, man.
Right.
It's amazing. It might be time to break out the kettle one today, man.
It's just amazing the lives that have been changed because of you, Mike, because of what you teach and, because of the help that, like the guidance and the coaching,
I appreciate that, man.
Really amazing.
Wynn's over here, the backbone, man. He keeps this. We keep the vision and idea, and they just keep going, man. Well, Wynn, what we got today, man?
Yeah, we'll talk about big deals.
That's everything.
A lot of people can't or don't believe that they can do big deals, but we're here to show you that it's possible, right? And why you should focus on big deals. So, with that, you wanna jump right in?
Yeah, let's jump right in. But hey, as always, man, we want to know where you're from, where you're checking in from. Put it in the chat. If you're on Facebook, where are you checking in from today, man? You got that chat enabled, Walt?
Yeah.
All right, man. Where are they coming in from? I can't see, man. We got Maryland in the building today, Mohawk, Tennessee, Dallas. What else we got here? Hey, what I really want to know, man, is where I'm going to come out and check you guys out, man. So what cities should we meet up at? I know I'm going to be visiting Atlanta a little bit. I got to go to New York.
We have a master member there, Bay.
Bay, oh yeah, Bay's in New York.
Yep.
So I got to go out. Where? He's in Brooklyn?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So we got to go out there. Where else? Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah. You know what? New York. Hey, Shanine. New York is where we need to go. Atlanta, I know, is one. And Florida. So we got to figure out where in Florida. I'm going to be bouncing back in front of Sarasota.
That's a lot of states to go
to. Yeah, 3 of them for real. Cool. Sarasota, Miami. You know what? I'm going to Miami. I'm going to hit Miami, Palm Beach. West Palms. We'll hit New York. I'm coming to New York because there's actually a clothing store I want to go shop at. Leather Closet, man. They have some fire stuff up there. So I need to add to collection. And that's right by LGA. Am I correct? Is Brooklyn right by LGA? LaGuardia? All right, let's go.
Let's jump right in.
This show is brought to you by OPM Intensive. OPM Intensive coming January 25th, 26th, Cincinnati, Ohio. We're going to show people the importance of using OPM, how you can scale up and raise money to do your deals. Just imagine if you can raise $1 million a year, $1 million a year for the next 5 years. You potentially can own $20 million in real estate. And look, for some of you like, Mike, that's too big. My mind's not there yet. Well, what if you just raised 100, 200,000 and you bought that first 30 or 40 unit or 10 units? That could change your life and bring in the cash flow that you need that can move you closer to your financial freedom. Go to OPM Intensive, opmintensive.com, coming to Cincinnati, January 25th to the 26th.
2023, not 2023.
Yeah, 2023. Lord Jesus. And Shawnee, thank you for letting me know that's Queens, because I didn't want to go over there, and she knows where that spot is. All right, so listen, man, how to make 2023 the year to do big deals, even if you're broke, have bad credit, and even if you're new to real estate, and on top of it, your friends and family are broke.
Right.
That's big, man.
Yep.
We gotta give this disclaimer. You want to give them the disclaimer?
Yeah,
Lynn?
this is for edutainment purposes only. That's a summary. All right, let's move on.
Man, everything's about seeing someone else do it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know so many times that whenever I saw somebody do it, I was like, man, I could do it better. Like,
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, what you mean to tell me that Joker did it? Well, surely I could do it and do it better.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me of the 4 minute mile. That's what something people said that could not be done.
Yeah.
The people time after time, it's like there's no way you can run a 4 minute mile.
Yeah. Some even hypothesize that that the human body cannot tolerate, like that speed, which is weird now. But
To give you an idea, the 4 minute mile is literally you running around at what 15 miles per hour. That, for just to give you an idea how fast that is, the average person, a teenager, runs 12 to 14 miles an hour for a 40-yard dash. We're talking about running 15 miles an hour for 4 minutes straight.
Or 5,280 feet.
To give you an idea, what's the world record holder? He runs, from Jamaica? Usain Bolt. He's clocked at 26 miles per hour for 100 meters. Just imagine running 15 miles an hour for 4 minutes straight.
Wow.
And guess what? He kept trying and people said he couldn't do it. And then May 6, 1954, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. And then guess what happened after that? 45 days later, John Landy broke the 4-minute mile. Now, to this day, you not only have grown individuals, but women, high school, college athletes running the 4-minute mile, breaking this record that people said could not be done, all because they saw someone else do it.
How do you pronounce his name?
I forgot how to say this name, but Ela Kipchoge broke the 2-hour marathon. They said it could not be done. He did it in 2 hours. He is the first. Just imagine who will do it now. Just imagine creating that vision. It's all about setting a vision. I remember this is a picture I actually took when I was in Hawaii. I can't remember that road, but that was a real picture. And I literally, that's when I knew I was going to make it, when I saw this. This is what everything I envisioned. It says it right down in this road. Just follow it and you'll get to your heaven. You'll get to your paradise. And what I'm telling you is that if you continue to envision and study under other people, you will succeed. I don't want to jump, but everyone needs a coach. I mean, even a baby. Look, do you think a baby just automatically knew what they were doing?
Of course not.
Right? If some of these babies didn't get training, we would have some real bad kids around here. I mean, we already do, but just imagine if they have training, if they didn't have education. And here's the thing, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Nate's always on me. Multiple people talk about it. And I'm not downgrading because my kids are going to college. But college is not going to share all this information.
Yep.
Not the average, not Harvard, MIT. They may break it down for you. They got schools of entrepreneurship and everything like that. But these other schools, they don't have that. And that's where you're going to have to go to get this information. Well, I need help here. This is coming in.
All right, but
you go ahead, Win.
Yeah, but
switch the camera.
So doing these big deals, right? So Mike shared this 3 checks, total of basically $1 million, $37,000 in cash profit, right? from just 2 mid-size apartment deals, sale of one and refinance of another. This doesn't even include the profit from your cash flow, Mike, and the remaining $800,000 in equity. So the question is, guys, do you want something like this? Put in the chat. Heck yeah. Okay.
Now, here's the thing, man. We're doing this every year now.
Yep.
Every year we're cashing in checks for $1 million plus. And in addition, I'm still getting cash flow.
Nice.
I'm still getting checks for 20, 30, 40,000 a month. Minimum. Those are okay months.
Yeah, per property.
Right? We're still, are you listening to me? We're bringing in $1 million checks and then still getting cash flow of 30, 40, 50, 60,000 a month.
Yep.
Is that something you want? Will that work for you? Yes or yes? Put your hands up in the chat. Yes or yes? Say yes or yes in here. Will that work for you? Bringing in 20, 30, 40,000 a month?
This is the view, not the
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
now this was one of our deals. Oh, that was Hassler and Spruce, right?
Right.
That was a combination. That was Hassler and
Yeah.
Spruce
That's just that one building. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And we still got equity in the deal. Let's go on to the next one, man. We got a lot to talk about today, man.
It's a lot.
So literally, I always talk about you're one big deal away. And look, listen, no matter what you do, it's going to be some work. One of the reasons I went to big deals, I never forget, I was sitting in the meeting and the guy says, I'm talking to him, my kind of my mentors from afar. And they were like, man, my contractors didn't show up. Now this guy is doing a $30-50 million development, and he does like $50 million developments every year. And he's like, Mike, my electrician didn't show up. I'm like, what the hell you mean your electrician didn't show up? You paid him $5 million. And then he was like, my sales team didn't sell the condos in time. What do you mean? You're paying $2-3 million in commissions. And my point is, they all have the same problems as I had, except the only problem when I'm done, I'm selling, I'm taking a check home for $5,000 to $20,000. They're taking checks home for $5 to $20 million. That's why big deal investing can give you the life of your dreams. Look, whatever, I don't want to take away from whatever it is that your desire, what your financial freedom looks like, whether it's the vacation home, whether it's a home, whether it's spending more time with your family, it's whether you're coaching like I do. I love to coach my kids. I like to travel and coach with them. Whatever it is, I will show you how. Let's go. And and here's one of the things. If you're an experienced investor, and I'm gonna just scale this up, and you're tired of the 3 T's, Walt loves saying this: tenants, toilets, and trash. Man, look, there's a better way to make big money and scale up sooner than you think. You don't have to keep doing things on your own. And look, even if you're a newbie, that's great too, because with this webinar today, this podcast, we're going to show you how you can get into big apartments and even hotels, even if you don't have real estate experience. We're going to show you how to do this. Today, what I want to make sure you walk away with, learn how to make massive cash profits from big apartments. All right. I want you to be able to do big profits. And I'm going to show you 3 secrets or 3 hacks that you can do, even if you're broke, bad credit, no real estate experience. I want you to be a big deal moneymaker. But what I want you to be is the man, the woman, the one that makes it all happen. If you don't know, as usual, I've been investing since 1999. Acquired over 200 million in real estate and worth rental properties, and that's inclusive of apartments, hotels, warehouses, and etc. My story is this, man. Literally, I went from zero to hero, back to zero, back to hero. Which reminds me, man. Boy, I don't.
By the way, this slide is like 3 years old, so you actually own 1,500 apartment units now.
Oh well. Well, and then not only that, man, when I talk about zero to hero, back to zero, like today, I'm Ooh, Lord help me, Jesus. Jesus, get me through. Jesus, you the one. I'm writing a check to the church for 50 grand a day. And why? Because it's all about giving. We talk so much about how to make money, but one thing I haven't really discussed is about giving and how it comes back to you multifold. And the whole point, we're doing this to change our community. Well, today we write that check to help change our community. And part of that money will go to scholarships. Some of it we call benevolent, where we give to people in need. We go to another fund where the church is working on acquiring some more property so they can put more programs, build a property so they can house some programs. So all these things. So not only do I want you to spend time with your family, I want you to give back. And look, I'm not nothing extraordinary. I wish I could tell you I was brilliant and I'm this rocket scientist and I grew up around all this money, and none of that is true. None of that happened for me. Hell, when I first started, I couldn't even paint. I remember I was in the room painting and they told me to go back home, told me to go back downstairs. I'm painting the second floor apartment and they told me to go back on my first two family. That was pretty frustrating. Like I'm trying to build $1 million at the time. No, I wasn't even thinking about $1 million.
Mhm.
I was thinking about just what they call house hacking. I just wanted to live free and have some cash flow to pay some bills. That was it. Like you, I used to believe that I have to do small deals first, buy a small property and then work my way up. For 15 years, I've been doing it hard and the slow way. But now I found a big way to hack. And now people are using my techniques. What took me 18 years, 20 years, people are doing in 12 to 18 months.
It's crazy.
Is somebody on here want to do that? Who wants to scale up their portfolio? Anyone want to scare?
24 months. Yeah. Well,
type in the chat. How big would you like your portfolio? No, what kind of cash flow do you want? All right. Well, look, you type that in and I'm going to share with you the 3 hacks or secrets I'll reveal to you today. Number 1, big deals mean less work. That's right. Some of you are like, man, I got to work so hard. No, you don't. I'm going to share with you the hack on what you need to do. Secret number 2, big deals mean no money down. That's right. You could do these deals with no money down, and I'll show you how multiple people are doing deals with no money down. And secret number 3, I'm going to show you how you could be that's right, the big deal maker, man. I want you to be the big deal maker, whether you have little or no real estate experience, whether it's apartments or hotels. I want to show you how you can go from broke to millions. Now, secret number 1 means big deals mean less work and you get massive profits. And yeah, you can buy these nice toys. Now, I don't know. Some of you may want the bike. Some of you may want the car. I'll take the car. I'll leave the bike to win. Is that what you want, bro? Started my real estate journey buying cheap properties. And it was cool. Like, I mean, it changed my life. I started building cash flows, but I was buying in these low income and war zones because that was what I was comfortable with. Mm-hmm. And it was profitable, but it was a lot of stress. And literally I lost all my hair, man. I don't know if you can tell. I shaved what I have, right? I shaved what I have. But I couldn't really buy anything else because that's all I was comfortable with.
Yeah, it's a full-time job.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I was their psychologist. I was the maintenance guy. I was the landlord. And then, but it was rough. And so I sold them and start buying in C areas. See, now people are like, what are war zones? Well, those are what we call DNF neighborhoods. And literally, there's high crime, theft, all of that. Mm-hmm. It's all happening in these areas. Littered, drugs.
Get that shot.
Yeah, I mean, I had guests come and they got robbed or their windows got shot out. No joke. This is not once, but multiple times.
Yeah, I remember what my business partner at that time, Bobby, would bring a gun just to collect rents.
Yeah,
That's
man.
that's DNF. Okay,
You don't want,
you
listen,
don't want that.
DNF
It's
is
tough.
cool when you start and you enjoy the cash flow, but you can't do nothing else. So I sold them, and I sold these properties and start buying in C areas, B areas, and then eventually A areas. Man, literally, I thought I went to heaven. And the reason I say that, when I bought the property, when my DNF properties, matter of fact, right around this time, Thanksgiving and Christmas,
right?
we did not collect rent. The rent collections went down mainly in December. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And so tenants would call like, Mr. Mike. I said, yes. Said, man, I'm gonna be a little late on my rent. And I'm like, okay, what's late? And they said, I'm gonna pay you in February. I was like, damn, it's December, bro. And they said, I was like, man, when I get my income tax, I'll pay you.
Yeah.
That was the kind of market I was in.
Income tax refund, yep.
And I had to work with my tenants and then majority of the time they paid. I mean, one or two people didn't, but for the most part, I extend that credit and they paid, which was amazing. But when I got to see B&A property, people were like, Mr. Mike, and it's like the 30th or the 31st. I'm gonna be late with my rent. And I was like, well, what's late? I can't get it to you to the 4th. And I'm like, but the rent's due on the 1st. I know, but I'll get it to you on the 4th. I was just like, okay, don't let it happen again. But one of the things I also realized that the bigger the property, the less work it takes to manage it, man. Listen, the more I get bigger properties, the more I can hire skilled people so I can be more hands-off. I spend less time on, I spend more time on apartments cheaper than my $2 million. Yeah. Anything I got over $1 million plus, I do go over there. I do visit the properties. Now, I'm not saying you should not go, but you can hire a quality staff that takes that off. Working hard is not the key. It's working smart with big deals. And that's why you want to start acquiring these properties. Like, look, which one of these do you want to do to get from point A to point B? Which one do you want to take? Do you want to take the bike or the car? You tell me. Which one do you want?
Which one takes more effort?
Yeah,
and slower at the same time.
I mean, look, man, you could take the bike, and don't get me wrong, if you guys are getting healthy or whatever, but you got a 5-mile ride, right? Maybe 10 miles. You got to pedal through the weather and snow, and then you got to carry an umbrella on top of it. Whereas in the car, man, literally from your phone now, you can click the app, turn your car on, jump right in, heat it, and hell, if you got a Tesla, it'll drive you straight to work.
Yep. Cool.
And that's what I'm talking about. Small deals are like a bicycle. A small deal takes more work because you can't afford a full-time property manager, full-time maintenance personnel. So you have to deal with the 3 T's, tenants, toilets, and trash. And it's slower in helping you get to your financial destination. You're not going to be able to scale up and acquire the things that you need using a bike. For example, a cash flow for $100,000 rental, $100,000 deal that you acquire, it's about $200 a month. Nothing wrong with that. And then over a 3 or 5 year period, you can generate equity profit in 3 to 5 years of 20 to 40,000. Now, I'm not complaining about that. Anybody in here mad about making 20 to 40,000 in 3 to 5 years? Would you like to make 20 or 40,000 in 5 years? Yes, no. Who says yes? Who says no? Type that in. You want to make 20 to 40,000 in 3 to 5 years. Well, big deals is like a car. A big deal takes less work because you can afford the property manager. You can afford a maintenance guy. You're not going to be doing your own maintenance. You'll probably assist, but you're not doing it anymore. It's faster to help you reach your financial destination. Cash flow for $1 million apartment is about $1,000, $2,000 a month. That's being conservative. Right. And with little improvements In 3 to 5 years, you could collect profits of $200,000 to $400,000. And this is not an uncommon thing. This is not, how do I know this? Because I do it myself. And listen, now some of you really like a job, like you like talking to multiple people. Maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you trade on the market, and you want some real assets, or you need some depreciating assets. Well, look, big deals are worth your time because you can double your money and be completely passive. I mean, be completely hands off. Just by this, my good friend Daniel Newland, partner and investor. Listen, he lives in San Francisco. He has a 28 unit in Cincinnati, Ohio. He spends probably
Almost no time.
I can't even say he spends an hour a month.
Like a phone call.
A
There.
phone call that's yes or no.
Yep.
Versus his 4 unit, he had to deal with the 3 T's, tenants, toilets, and trash.
Yep.
And he made more cash flow.
With the 28 units.
Yeah, but you might be asking, Mike, how can I do big deals when I don't have big money? Is that something you want to know about? Well, secret number 2 is big deals equal no money down. How to acquire big deals even if you're broke. Like most people, I used to think small deals are easier to fund, and that's why I did them. And that's why I started by house hacking. Before they even coined the phrase house hacking, I was buying stuff like 30,000 and with 1,000 down, and I bought a duplex. And that was great, man. I mean, but the truth is, no money down is easier with big deals. Right? That $1,000 I had to pull out of my pocket. For example, here, on a $100,000 house, you can only use your cash, not OPM, unless you get a private investor. But even then, majority of the time, if you go to traditional bank financing, they're going to want to see that you put the $20,000 in.
Right. Or it has to be seasoned for at least 3 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ain't nobody got time for that. So what if I told you you can buy a $10 million apartment building using OPM and you may not have $0 and the bank's okay with that?
Yeah, the bank is perfectly okay with that. It's commonly accepted practice, right? It's like big deals are easier to do with no money down.
Well, not even that. My first hotel deal, it was a $10 million deal. I didn't have the net worth. I had the credit, but didn't have the net worth and didn't have all the cash. Guess what? I syndicated. I syndicated. I'm gonna hit two birds with one stone. I syndicated the money, 1.7 million. I brought in a private investor that signed for the debt.
Or credit partner.
A credit partner. And I didn't put any money in the deal.
That's amazing.
Can you understand? And then listen, even if you did have money, I'll take that back. Okay, let me go back. Let's say I put some pursuit costs or at-risk capital. I got it all back at closing.
Nice.
Is this something you guys think you can do? Is this something you think you can do? Type in the chat, I can do this, or I need help. All right. So you might be thinking, isn't it hard to raise bigger amounts of money, of capital? Biggers? Is that right? Is that really a word?
Isn't it harder to raise bigger amount of capital?
All right. So listen, I can do this, but need some help. Well, we got it very vague. Okay. I need more help, details. Well, listen, the good thing is there's over what, 6 billion people on this planet?
Yeah, almost 8 billion.
8 billion now, right? And guess what? In the US, there's over 12 million accredited investors. All right. Here's the thing about this. Now, first, if you're like, well, what's an accredited investor? Let's go into that. Accredited investors has a person that has a net worth over $1 million, or their income, the household income as an individual goes past 200,000 or 300,000 together. 9.86%, almost 10%. Hey, Walt, you fix this camera. The battery going dead. Almost 10% of the American household controls America's wealth. 10% of American household controls $65 trillion. Can you imagine that?
And you don't need $65 trillion to do a deal.
No, you just need one investor.
Yep, you need
Maybe
one,
five.
maybe one or two in the beginning, five that assures, Yeah. So I mean, think about that, guys. Like 1 out of every 10 houses, you walk down your subdivision or whatever. Now, obviously, don't do this in DNF neighborhoods, right? But on an average subdivision in America, 1 out of 10 house is most likely an accredited investor. And if you go to San Francisco, California, it's probably like one every other house is an accredited investor, right? So
Instagram.
all right.
Check one. And so, but listen, nowadays it's even easier to do, right? You can reach people through social media.
Yep.
I mean, that's how I've reached out to you guys, man. And it all started, we were doing it at Bigger Pockets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell them about that, man.
So here are two proofs that, posting on social media, when you do it the right way, absolutely works. So this guy here sent us a DM, and it turned out that he's an investor in apartments before, and he actually helps other syndicators. And true enough, when we worked with him and his brother, they funded like $10 million, right, of deals. So think about that. And this came from Facebook. And then here, this guy here reached out to Mike and said, "Hey, I'm a limited partner, meaning a passive investor on apartments, and can I invest in your deal, in your hotel deal?" Right? I mean, think about that, right? People are actually asking Mike, "Can I invest with you?"
And well, but that was like more natural. Like I wasn't even soliciting, as we'll say.
Yep. We're not even asking for money, and yet money is coming in, and even big money. Like this guy here came through Instagram, but Mike shared this on LinkedIn that, they have a family office with over $100 million in investable assets, wanting to work and partner with Mike, just posting on social media, right? So you might be thinking, well, maybe Mike can do it, but can other investors do it too? If you want to talk about,
well, and the reason and the reason why this supports some of you, like, what's so important? Look, if you really want to get big dollars, right? Once you really, it doesn't matter. You will have to pay a lot of money to do that. I'm talking to some people now, and they charge 25,000 to 100 grand for introductions.
Oh, wow.
25 to 100,000. Now, don't get me wrong. It is a value. And when you're doing it on that level, like they're bringing, but listen, in return, they're bringing a check or intros to people that can write checks for 100 million to 200 million dollars.
Nice.
Right. Or a group of, right. So my point is, maybe you're not there yet. Right. If you're there yet, you probably wouldn't be listening to me.
Right. That's true. So
we're showing you an economy way of doing it. And social media is evening out the playing field.
Mm-hmm.
It is changing how business is being done. And my students are doing it as well. They're raising private money through social media. I mean, George just did it off of 2 investors on Facebook, mm-hmm. Twitter, which I'm horrible at. Madeline raised 100 grand, and that's only because that's all she asked for. Mm-hmm. Trent, Trent didn't even take my course.
Right. He's just a connection.
Me and Trent talked on the phone 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. And no, he came out to our one day.
Yeah, he did.
He came out to our one-day seminar. And from that technique, he went and bought him a 36 unit. And he bought him, I think,
like a
2
mobile
buildings.
Park.
Well, he bought a mobile park, but then he bought, I think this 30, I can't remember, but he even house hacked. He bought 2 new buildings, new construction, with 3 units each. He house hacked, rented the other 2, and he was living in a brand new complex
Rent
with
free.
no money out of pocket.
Nice, nice.
Monthly free.
Yep.
Here's the deal we were sharing earlier where we used private money to acquire this 36 unit and it netted us $410,000 tax free.
Tax free, guys, because it's a refinance, and yet there's still $800,000 in equity and cash flow. So who wants to do a deal like this?
And
Right.
I passed on this deal.
I didn't know
I
that.
passed on this deal 2 or 3 times. I mean, we bought it for $514. We put in $275, let's say $300. I raised $400,000 between 2 people. And we were all in for about $800,000. I refinanced it for 1.2 and had an appraisal value of $2 million. We pulled $400,000 back. I paid all my investors off. I paid, not only that, we had some owner financing. We put $400,000 in our pocket and we still own the building. It is still cash flowing at about $10,000 a month.
Nice.
And we have $800,000 in equity.
Nice.
Who wants a deal like this? Yes or yes? Yes or yes? I still want deals like this every day. I would like them to be bigger. I would like them to be bigger.
Put an additional 0 at the end, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, that's why I'm doing a development now in Sarasota, Florida.
Yep. $100 million.
$100 million. And just one of my fees is $1 million. That, like, and I'm not working as hard.
Cool. That's great, man.
The brain's scrambling a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's a little different.
So it's more mental work than.
Yeah, well, because you got a big thing to work with. Like you got an architect, you got construction managers, you got legal, you got city, you got local municipality, you got I probably got 5 different lawyers working on that deal. It's a little convoluted. I don't want to scare you, but my point is this is where you rise to.
Yeah. And in a way that's part of being a big deal maker.
That's right. I'm not doing nothing different. It's just more players.
Yep.
Like when you do a big deal and you raise capital, so you got to have an SEC lawyer or one lawyer can handle that. Then you got to have somebody handle your contract. You need a title company. You're going to have contractors and you may need an architect, right?
Yep.
That's just 5 people. Well, it's the same thing here, but now those 5 people's got larger teams.
Yep. All right. Tell them this true story, Mike.
Oh my gosh, man. So I've been doing real estate for years. And, I was just like, I thought I had it made, man. I was making more money in 1 month than the average household makes in a year. Literally. I shared I was making 50 grand a month, 40, 50 grand. And I'm thinking, yeah, life is good. I'm a boss, chest out the whole 9.
Yeah, this was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah. And then I met this guy. He owns $1 billion portfolio of hotels and he accumulated it in 10 years. Can you imagine acquiring $1 billion? And the crazy, let me move on. Listen. And he didn't start small buying single family homes. He jumped in, man. Like, this is what the rich think. And listen, he didn't have a skill set better than mine. He on a corporate level, I give him that skill set. But far as understanding real estate and the deal and the intricacies, no. He never even raised money before.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
See, man, you got to start thinking in abundance, man. Whatever I lack, someone else has it. Whatever I need, someone else provided. And listen, not only did I meet him, but I met multiple others that have billions of dollars in assets in real estate. And not only just that, in businesses.
Cool.
Because they sat down and focused and went after it.
Yep.
So look, what you got to become is the big deal maker. You need somebody to bring you the deal, private investors that you can fund it, right? Line up your credit partners, the people that are guaranteed the debt, and line up an operator or experienced property manager. These are the keys of becoming a big deal maker. I mean, here's another deal that we netted $600,000 in just 15 months.
That's crazy.
15 months we netted it. And listen, owner finance. We started off as a property manager. And the partners, the owner was like, look, I was like, look, man, all you got to do is increase the rent and you can increase the value. He was like, I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm older. He was like, I'm 60. I just want to go to Florida and spend time with my family. He's a retired lawyer or was in the process of retiring.
And all he wanted was how much in cash flow. And it's like, oh, here
He
it
just
is.
wanted his 15. He wanted the
15.
mortgage paid and he wanted in that $1,500 or $1,000 a month.
Mm.
It was like, deal. Basically, I had to pay him $2,500 or $3,000 a month. I gave it to him because the property was netting $5,000 a month.
That's amazing. And
the NOI before that was $5,000. So after I raised the rents, I gave him his $3,000 and we took home $2,000 every month.
And what's nice is it's a true no money down deal. You didn't even have to raise the money.
No, I didn't raise. He literally turned it over to us.
That's crazy.
Is this a better deal? Is anybody who thinks this is a better deal than the last deal I shared with you? But my point is there's deals out there. If you be patient and take your time, you can find great deals like this if you just do the studying and get the know-how.
And the network, right?
Yeah,
right.
Because your net worth is your net worth.
Yeah.
So build up your network so you can build up your net worth.
Right.
To be a successful deal maker, you need the right knowledge and the right partners, like I shared with you. You're that guy in the middle or lady in the middle. But the problem is it may take a long time to accumulate the knowledge and finding the right partners. Boy, let me tell you that does take some time. But the 3 secrets I revealed today means you can do less work, no money down, and number 3, be a big deal maker. So if you have access to big deals, can line up the right partners, and have access to private capital, let me ask this one more time. If 1, you had access to big deals, 2, can line up the right partners, and 3, have access to private capital, do you believe you can succeed in big deals? I need to see it in the chat. Do you think you can succeed if you had these things? I got a hell yeah.
From Jordan.
A heck yeah. Yes, Jordan. Okay. Well, you're right. Yes, you can if you know how. Everything's in the know-how. And it all comes from training.
Yep.
It comes from, and then not only the training, it's 3 T's. It's training, it's teaching, and then it's transitioning.
So right? That you get transformation.
There you go. Ooh, we got it. I ain't have to tell him.
So now what do you do with this, knowing these 3 secrets, right?
You can be like this guy, sit on the couch and continue to build that mountain of a beer belly, which I kind of like. You can try to do it all yourself, but that allows how do I get a picture of him? You could do it all yourself, right? That's right, Jordan. Or 3, you can get my help. So, that's it, man. If you get the tools, the know-how, and I'm willing to help you, the know-who, and get the funding, will you succeed with big deals? I need to know. If you had all these, could you succeed? Because I'm trying to take all these different ways. This is a true story. This is my partner, one of my best students ever. Nate Barger lost all his properties in 2008 and foreclosure. He filed bankruptcy. I literally held his hand and walked him through, and he fought through it. So spent time with this wonderful daughter. That's London right there. And in 4 years, he was able to retire, and he left and went to vacation in Florida. Like, dude, I'm like, man, what?
Where are you?
Hey, I'm gonna call.
Just having fun.
Man, but Nate quick to take his kids out of school. We'll just what do you call it? School fund them, what house fund? In school, homeschool.
Homeschool. Yeah, that's what.
Man, he'll homeschool in a heartbeat. Like, I was like, but in mid-quarter, bro, Nate's like, look, what are they gonna remember? What they learned in class or when we left for over 30, 45 days?
Nice.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And 3 years ago,
And he moved his $1 million mansion. There it is. That's his house right there. I mean, that's beautiful. Now, what you don't see is the pool he put back there as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's an old picture again.
Yeah.
That's from 3 years ago.
So with all this, are you willing to accept my help? Is that what you're ready to do? So if the answer is yes, then you should apply to join our Big Deal Maker Mastermind group. Show them where they go. Like the 4 pillars of the big mastermind is capital attraction. You need to have a systematic way to attract high net worth individuals, man, because you know when you're raising capital, you're not going in talking about yourself. You know, people need to know what we call the WeFM, what's in it for me. And you got to learn these different systems. You know, I literally went out raising capital for a year and brought back a fat 0 because I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. Well, I knew what I was doing, but I didn't raise capital. Now, whenever I sit with somebody, people want to give me their money. I just need more people to go find more deals so we can do raise billion, you know, own $1 billion in assets.
Yeah, but by having that big capital attraction system that is lined up, right? You guys will have the confidence to even make an offer, right? Because how can you make an offer if you know for a fact that you don't have any big capital lined up, right?
Absolutely.
So let's watch this video of Keisha, who became a specialist in raising private capital. So hopefully the sound will work, right? Oh, now I have to share my sound. Huh?
You shared your sound?
Hold on. Let me see. Let me stop sharing first. Let me share my.
Yeah, so these are all the things that you need, and we want to provide it so you'll have a great 2023. You got it all?
Can you guys hear it?
My name is Keisha Kennedy, and I live in Kuwait. However, I am investing in the States, and it all started out by joining Mike's program, his mastermind program, Big Deal Hacking. And I joined in April 2021 of last year, and it has truly been a blessing. He has taught me so many gems, and now I'm invested in over 500 units. You heard that correct. 500 units all the way from Kuwait in the state, both actively and passively as a limited partner and a general partner. So if you are hesitant or thinking about joining the program, I highly recommend, feel free to reach out to me as well. And remember, like Mike says, you are one big deal away.
And she went from 0 using her own money to over 1,000 investors through posting on Facebook and LinkedIn. So that's an example of leveraging on pillar number 1, right? How to, you know, having that big capital attraction system. Now, so big deal number 2, I can talk about this, Mike.
Go for it, buddy.
Yeah. So the problem with these big deals, right, Mike, like a commercial real estate broker, if let's say, you know, someone, and I hate to pick on Will. So Will owns a couple of Airbnbs,
right?
And let's say Will made an offer on a 100-unit apartment building, and you made an offer on a 100-unit apartment building. If I'm the broker, I will ignore Will.
Yes.
Right? No offense, right? But Mike,
no, that's true.
Because Mike has the credibility and track record, right?
That's
so correct. You know, but the problem is, you might be asking, like, how can you do a big deal if you have not done a big deal, right?
That's right.
So the way to do it is by leveraging on someone with the experience and track record, you know, and that's what we do in our mastermind. Is the mastermind members, they can leverage on the mastermind group's credibility and track record. So they can approach the broker and say, you know, I'm part of a group that have acquired, you know, over 3,000 apartment units, you know, and it's perfectly honest, you know, and when we send the offer, right, they even ask, like, where's the bio? And when they show your bio, Mike, it's like, oh, this guy is legit. Here's the property, and they're more willing to listen to the offer. So you are taken seriously by the brokers. The passive investors also take you more seriously if they know you are not a one-man show. You're not a newbie because you are leveraging on other people's credibility and track record. You know, so that's the big deal hacking there. And then here's Tim, who actually did that. You know, so remember when Tim Vest, when he first tried to raise capital, he actually did a 3-way call with Mike.
Yeah, he was like,
his investors.
It's like, dude, I can't. He had me on the phone, wasn't sure what to do. But I mean, he's killing it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Now he's renting yachts out and having private events. Like, what the hell?
And this just happened in just 2 years, which is amazing. 2 years from the mastermind, he owns over $100 million worth of apartments and student housing. So here's last Thanksgiving he
Hey, Mike,
he just
and
gave you.
happy Thanksgiving. I just wanted to send out a little message to you, man, and say on this Thanksgiving, this guy is extremely grateful for everything you've done for me over the last couple of years. I've learned a ton in your mastermind. I really enjoy being a coach. I've learned from the other coaches like Devon and John. But the biggest thing is, man, like when I started this, fix and flips, single family houses, that was kind of my thing. And raising capital from other people was just a non-starter. And I had no idea how I was going to get out of my W-2 on the current path I was on. I just knew I was miserable at my job. Joining your mastermind, having the conversations with you, especially that one day in the car when you were like, man, you got this. You can absolutely do this. Man, those have been game changers for me. 2 years later, here I am, over 1,000 units. I've raised millions. Never thought that was possible. And man, I'm just really grateful. I really appreciate everything you've done for me. Looking forward to the future with you. And happy Thanksgiving, Mike. Much appreciated.
All right. So, I mean, look, done with your deal analysis. You need the expert eyes, all right? You want to avoid costly mistakes and also take advantage of the hidden opportunities in the deal. I mean, analyzing the deal is everything. Like, do you realize if you can't find the good in the deal, you might have left money on the table?
Yeah, that's true.
There's so many deals that were left out because they didn't know how to analyze the property properly.
Right. And here's an example.
Yeah, Dia with her, we helped her analyze that hotel for her, and she knocked it out. Like, not only that, she was all in for 700. They appraised it for 2 million.
Nice.
She got it refinanced. It was like similar numbers to mine. I think she got 1.2 out. Yeah, it was basically the same.
1.2 out.
She put 500,000
in her pocket. Oh my God.
And
that's amazing.
She got the ADR, the average daily rental, to 200 a night.
Like from $80 to $200.
She went, I told her, I was like, look, if you rehab and worst case scenario, you should only get like $70, $80 a night and maybe 55% occupancy. That was like, that's going to be your average. That's your worst case. She's gotten 200. We said, and then it was like on the high scale, conservatively 145, 150. $200 a night.
That's crazy.
That's amazing. And then you need $1 billion network. You need access to the right partners, hotel operators, mortgage lenders, and our mastermind members specialize in everything.
Yeah, some members.
And that's why you'll be able to succeed.
Yeah, so some of our members, they just want to find deals, and other members, they just want to raise capital. And by being part of that network, what we did not anticipate, Mike, when we started this was members actually helping each other.
Yeah.
Like Robert Musso partnering with Tim Vest, Keisha partnering with John.
And that's one of the things we continue. We actually put a fund together that should wrap up first of the year, and we'll put that out there. That's like one of the great things of being a part of it. Hey, when this need to be, Walt, I need to be charged up or something. So, and number 4, help Johannes buy 3 hotels in 6 months. This guy was just trying to buy 1 hotel.
Yep, 1 hotel in 12 months. And because of the mastermind, he ended up buying 3 hotels in 6 months. Granted, these are smaller hotels, but the good news is, like what? He owns this like 50% or so, something like that, right? Like he has a partner in 2 of them. And I think with 1 of them, he only has like a lender, like a private lender.
Yeah. I mean, he's rocking out, man. I mean, and matter of fact, 1 of them in the Ozark. He's got 1. I don't know if I want to go to Ozark a lot. That TV show, everything else. So look, the Big Deal Maker Mastermind helps you become a big deal maker. Like I said, we have all the players at the table. And if you're serious about doing big deals and changing your life, or you just keep winging it and doing it on your own, make costly mistakes, no access to deals, and you're on your own, and you spent up a lot of time. You can spend 18 years like I did. I made it sound like I just did time. Or just take a shortcut. Take that hack by applying now to our Big Deal Maker Mastermind at gmail.com. Big Deal Maker Mastermind at gmail.com. Sign up for our class now so you can learn all these different things and build that cash flow and then get closer to your financial dream. Because as my buddy said, that is the new American dream. You want a better life for your family? Go to Big Deal Maker Mastermind at gmail.com. Email us at bigdealmakermastermind at gmail.com.
And we're going to raise the price too.
Oh, well, that's nice. But
Because
I don't know.
we have
We're offering more things.
Yeah, exactly. Like
because we want people to be successful, and so we want to give wholeheartedly, and so that you guys can succeed. And we're going to be actually, as I said, we're going to be meeting in different locations.
Yeah, we have
to get
3
things
live
done.
events. The OPM Intensive is just one of them.
Yeah,
And then we'll have one in May or June, and then another one in September.
yeah, that would be nice.
Yep. So again, guys, email us at bigdealmakermastermind@gmail.com. So there's an application process. We literally turn down people, as Mike said, he wants what? He wants Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs.
That's right.
Right.
Man.
So if you think you have what it takes and you want to make 2023 your best year yet, email us now at bigdealmakermastermind@gmail.com. And then, we will tell you what the process is to go through the application. And if you're chosen as one of Mike's mastermind member, then yeah, we will help you become a big deal maker. So with that, are there any questions?
Any questions here? Where can you find hotel deals? One of the things about hotel deals is you definitely need some brokers, but where you can really thrive is hitting a conference. Go to a hotel conference. There's about three big conferences. There's the Hunter Hotel Conference. There's the Lodge. Hunter Hotel is normally in Atlanta in March. Then there's the Lodge Conference, which is normally in September. And then there's I want to say Arissa, but that's not. Alice. And they do it typically in January in California and LA. And then somewhere in the summertime, they do it in New York. So those are kind of like the 3 big conferences that everybody goes to. And that's where you can find a lot of deals.
Yeah. So Ness, just send us an email about the cost, because everything that we do is customized. So it depends, and for one, yeah, we need to find out first if you qualify for this. So, all right. Any other questions, guys? Before we go to our millionaire mindset?
Appreciate realistically from first deal.
From start to first deal, what do you think? Well, it depends on you, Lyle. Like we have people like Johannes, like on the first 2 months, he got a deal. And then Tim Vest took him 7 months to get his first deal. But it took him, from the 8th month to the 24th month to go to $100 million worth of deals. So it just depends. Each person is different.
I'll push people now, and I can't even use that as an excuse, but this was before, YouTube was probably around, but I didn't know anything about it. I was barely using email at that time. And I read Robert Allen's book, No Money Down. And I read that when I was 16. I didn't buy my first property until 9, 10 years later. No, 11 years later. I don't want you waiting. Now, I did have a plan. My goal was to do concerts and parties, and I was going to use that money to buy
real estate.
That was my funding source, but my concerts and parties didn't turn out to like how I wanted it. But
yeah,
the real estate ended up being my second career. And I never imagined this. I was just looking at real estate to be a backstop because I was going to have so much money from my concerts and party and entertainment. So
cool. All right. So if there are no more questions, again, guys, email us at bigdealmakermastermind@gmail.com. And yeah, we look forward to working with you and having those Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs, right?
There you go, man.
Big deal makers. All right.
Big deal maker. Let's get into this millionaire mindset. Now it's time for Mike's millionaire mindset. Yeah, I shared with you before that, you got to have something special in you. And sometimes people that feeling dies in them. And they go to their grave not really expressing themselves, not sharing what was there for you. But what I'm telling you is, as long as you visualize and share it and take action and be consistent, it will happen. I wish I could tell you it was rocket science, but let me tell you something. It is hard, but choose your hard, right? It's hard to be broke. It's hard to be poor. It's hard to be married. It's hard to raise a family. It's hard to acquire $1 million home. It's hard to stay wealthy. But which hard do you want? But here's the thing though, but yes, it's hard when you don't know, but if you have the information, you have the technology, there's no reason why you can't succeed. You just must put the effort in. And yes, some of you want to be passionate about it, and passion, interest, high level interest is very important, because that's what's going to catapult you on the days you don't want to move forward. It's hard because getting up, let's just take it real simple. It's hard. First of all, nobody really wants to get up at 4:35 in the morning, right? And then when you do it, can you do it not just 7 days in a row? Can you do it 365 days in a row? See, consistency really is what is hard. The task is not hard. It's the consistency. It's setting the time away. It's being disciplined. And having what we talk about emotional intelligence to accomplish these things. Because listen, there's times that I don't want to do nothing, man. Listen, yeah, I had to, matter of fact, when we first started, Win and Walt had to drag me to do these podcasts, kicking and screaming, man. Like, man, I ain't got time. I got to do these deals. But I wanted to get my story out. I wanted to share it so other people like you could to do greater things than me. And I shared earlier that I got multiple students that will probably surpass me, which I'm fine with that. I'm excited about that. But what I want you to do is just take action. As we say, execution is worship. And when because so many people have ideas, but they can't execute. And that's the thing that holds people back. When you can't execute, it don't matter if you got an idea. It doesn't matter if you have a dream. It don't matter if you're passionate. If you can't execute it and bring it into reality, it will forever be dead. But I want you to live, and I want you to live in your greatness, in your abundance, as scripturally it says to. The reason why I went from broke to millions is because I was consistent. I was passionate. Number one, I was hungry. But I just wouldn't quit. You got to put this relentless attitude in. And once you do these things, this is when you'll become successful. And this is when you'll go from broke to millions. Hey, look, God bless you. God keep you. May God bless you beyond your belief, but not your capacity. And remember, you're one big deal away. Peace.
See you guys. Thanks, Mike. That's awesome.
Hey, happy holidays, and we'll see you soon. Enjoy the New Year's. And we got a lot of great things going for you for 2023. See you soon.
Yeah, I was born to be the greatest. Yeah, I was born to be a favorite. Look, I'm on the billboard. I made it. That's what I dream every day, so I say it. Yeah.